if your significant other is on your ass about how you're investing or using their money, she doesn't trust you.
You know, it was funny when I was a recruiter in Tokyo. That would be the final boss. Usually, when you're talking about the web of different things, you're talking about from the candidate side when you're hiring somebody to a company. If you forget to basically see if they're whipped or not before you start the interview process with them, if you determine they're whipped, you got to include the wife within the conversation earlier rather than later. Sometimes even bring her out to dinner with all three of you.
Yeah, to make sure that she's the one that's not dominating the conversation when you're talking.
Yeah, you don't want her to be the final boss, and all of a sudden you got all this work done, and then she just
I know. Well, as you guys, both
not quite like that, but sure. Okay.
As you guys both know, I used to work in wine and spirits, and the guy I used to work for, I can say his name, Dave Vandeveld. He was the guy that was the principal guy, I guess, at Kettle One, and then they split off, and then he started Van Gogh Vodka, and he became an importer exporter, and we had other portfolio brands as well. And during the time that I knew him, he was married, and then he got into a really nasty divorce, right? And his ex-wife ended up taking a lot of money out of his bank account, and to the point where she didn't get it, but she was trying to get partial ownership of the company, of his companies, because he had more than one. And I'm glad to say that didn't happen, because he had good legals. He paid a lot of money, but he didn't lose the business. But the thing is the damage is done. Yeah. Because what happens is, if he wants to start a new product, or if he wants to start a new partnership, or some sort of collab with somebody, or a new distributor or something like that, now he has to fight against this idea that he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing when it comes to getting married. So if he wants to he had a girlfriend too, if he wants I'm gonna get remarried again, people like guys who have got burned because he almost filed bankruptcy because of his divorce, they're not going to be an angel investor in any future projects with him because of his personal situation, because he couldn't fucking get his bitch in pocket, right? And so and so now that guy suffers because he's a chump, because he might be alpha as fucking everything else he does, but if she's the power behind the throne, then he's sort of beholden to her, and he's making his ultimate financial decisions are not based on what he thinks is going to benefit him and benefit the company. It's going to be what's going to shut this bitch up. Yeah. Right? And so I was privy to at least 2 or 3 different meetings where he didn't get a deal because they didn't want to deal with it, because he was going through his divorce at that time, and they didn't want to have anything to do with him.
That's brutal. Yeah. It's like double whammy there, because
it's rough. Yeah. Man. That shit will follow you, man. People don't think that.